what he's doing is, I mean, kind of cool if he can continue to steal money.
What he is doing is, I mean, kind of cool if he can keep stealing money. Since he began turning down offers to fight actual opponents, boxing experts have completely trashed Jake Paul. However, I don't find this shocking because it's clear that he is just a...
I tried to give the fight the best fight I possibly could, but when someone's just surviving in the ring, basically, it's hard to make it exciting.
This guy has been promoting his boxing career as the next big thing, but when it comes time to face real competition, he's too busy or plotting. Who knows? I tried to give the fight the best fight I possibly could, but when someone is essentially just surviving in the ring, it's hard to make it exciting.
Paul, you know, the famous YouTuber that stepped into boxing, and I'm not going to say he's made a mockery about.
I'm not going to say that Jake Paul, the well-known YouTuber who entered the boxing world, has made fun of him. He is picking fights with retired MMA fighters and elderly legends, and he even declined a $3 million offer from Andrew Tate, so I reject it. Is Tate too old for him, or is $3 million insufficient? In any case, I believe Jake has boxing completely wrong, but don't worry, boxing experts are there to give him a harsh reality check.
Paul Mike Tyson fight.
Interesting.
Script. How so? What do you mean by
It's just
script?
weird. It just
Like scripted in what way?
no, I don't know. I actually really like Jake Paul. It just seems so it's odd.
Even though I really like Jake Paul, it seems strange to start talking about the cherry picking because Jake is essentially running an orchard at this point, with everything from retired head MMA fighters to aging legends, making his opponents feel more like exhibition props than actual.
Like Jake was actually signaling for him to
do that move.
Because he did like this.
Yeah.
It appeared as though Jake was actually telling him to do that because he liked this. Yes, it's a tactic to manage the story and maintain the undefeated label's glitz. But let's not fool ourselves. The main question that has plagued Jake's boxing career is whether or not he fears genuine competition.
50 million to bet with you, but I do have 3 million to bet with you. So this is your offer. $3 million.
This is your offer. I don't have 50 million to wager with you, but I do have 3 million. $3 million, the contentious former kickboxing champion Andrew Tate, who enjoys drama almost as much as Jake does, to be clear. This wasn't your typical let's fight for charity kind of shout out. Tate took it personally and kicked down Jake's door, in addition to placing a $3 million wager on the table.
5 years out the ring. I'm a kickboxer. You're 2-0 in boxing. I'm 0-0 in boxing. I've never even fought boxing. I'm a retired old man. 5 years I've been sitting around smoking cigars and bitches, which are better looking than the girl you're advertising.
You're 2-0 in boxing. I'm 0-0 in boxing. I'm a retired old man, and I've been a kickboxer for 5 years. I've been sitting about smoking cigars and admiring the beaches that you're advertising for the past 5 years. But Jake did just that when he politely declined the fight and said, "No, excuse me." I agree that it's not a large enough draw, but Mike, who is 57, makes a wise play by bringing more money and notoriety to the table.
I believe he's put down every single fighter he's actually been against. Now, he's only fought one boxer before Tyson.
I think he has defeated every opponent he has ever faced thus far. He has only faced one boar. Tyson supporters were furious, and the comment sections were flooded with knowledgeable criticism. Not only was Jake's choice to avoid Tate a lost chance, but it was also a PR nightmare because, let's be honest, boxing is about more than just throwing punches, it's about proving something. And at the moment, Jake is just demonstrating that he's very good at saying no. In one of his podcasts, Joe Rogan thoroughly examined Jake's entire career plan, breaking it down piece by piece and offering his conclusion. Jake is here to play it safe and make money, not to show that he is the best.
Look at Jake Paul. He fought Tyron Woodley, slept him. Anderson Silva, I think he fought Nate. If he wants to do boxing, why not fight guys that actually box for a living?
Because Jake Paul, who fought Tyron Woodley, slept with him. Silva, Anderson, if he wants to box, why not fight guys who do it for a living? Rogan isn't incorrect, and I believe he fought Nate. Examine Jake's opponents. Woodley, Tyron, even Anderson Silva, and Ben Askren, although they are well known, they are either retired or well past their prime. When Jake faced Woodley, he hadn't won a UFC match in years. Askren, who was famous for his wrestling skills, didn't hit Silva, who was 47 years old at the time. This isn't about facing real challenges, it's about
fought a guy who was his age and was also considered a boxer, and he lost. So if you can keep fighting 50-something-year-olds.
Jake lost against a man his own age who was also regarded as a boxer. But if you can continue fighting people in their 50s, by drawing a comparison between Jake's choice to face Mike Tyson rather than Andrew Tate, Dana White further emphasized the point. Although Mike Tyson is a legendary boxer, he is also 57 years old. Does that make him a real threat to someone like Jake, who is younger, fitter, and training?
I will fight you any day of the week. Don't worry about Conor McGregor fucking you up. Don't worry about Floyd Mayweather.
In contrast, Andrew Tate, who is 37 years old and in his physical prime, is a 4-time kickboxing world champion with a combat sports pedigree that Jake cannot ignore. If Jake wanted to establish himself as a legitimate fighter, Tate was the obvious choice. I will fight you any day of the week. Don't worry about Conor McGregor fouling you.
The fact that he's willing to fight Tyson, even if Tyson's 57, just the fact that he's willing to actually take a chance at Mike Tyson not being able to do what he used to do.
And the fact that he's prepared to face Tyson despite Tyson's advanced age of 57 just because he's willing to risk Mike Tyson losing his ability to perform his former skills rather than entering the ring with a person of his age and skill. Jake opts to fight Tyson for a show. Rogan didn't hold back.
I know a lot of people were pissed, and it was a bit of a shit show, but, you know, what did you expect? Seriously.
It was kind of an __ show, and I realized that many people were upset. But what did you expect? This leads us to the Tyson bout, which will take place on November 15th, 2024, and is a strange combination of controversy and nostalgia. Jake defeated Tyson in a unanimous decision nearly instantly. Even though Tyson was still strong, it was obvious that he wasn't fighting to the best of his abilities. Meanwhile, Jake looked more polished than ever, a bit too polished, some might say, and accusations that the fight was staged began to circulate almost immediately after the final bell rang. Insider rumors and leaked reports suggested that Jake's camp had negotiated certain terms to guarantee a victory.
I mean, what he's doing is, kind of cool if he can continue to steal money and they match him the way they match him. I can't knock his hustle. So if they can match him the way how they've been matching him, more power.
His actions are sort of cool, and if he can keep stealing money and they match him the way they match him, I can't criticize his hustle. Therefore, if they can match him the way they've been matching him, then more power to him. Now, Jake's detractors are more vocal than ever and have more proof than they know how to handle, and their carefully constructed empire is beginning to show signs of weakness.